Today is the first session of our JavaScript tutorial. So first we will talk about some of the basic concepts about JavaScript. We will understand some of the few technical terms, okay, and some technical things, okay, what is static web page, dynamic web page, and what is how JavaScript runs, normal things we will discuss, and then we will go with different topics in the coming sessions, okay. So we already discussed what is HTML and CSS. So we all know that for web development, we require these three technologies, three things, HTML to structure your web page. Okay, what should be present in your web page, like button, grid, table, or any hyperlinks or any images. So all the structure are created using HTML. That is, uh, if we consider about that a very famous example about human body. So the skeleton of human skeleton is like HTML, okay, where the skeleton is the main core structure of our human body. Then CSS, okay, so CSS is like to give the proper alignment, give proper styles to make it look beautiful, okay, our web page should be beautiful, so that we use CSS. So it's like on our human body, whatever we do styling with our hair, we having style with the fashion related things like clothes and all those things. So it is like CSS to make our personality good in front of other. Okay, so same thing we do with our web pages, so that that can look better, and a web page should also have its own impact to our end users. Okay, so now whatever we will create, whatever websites we create, okay, through HTML and CSS are the static web page. Okay, what is static web page? So your web page which doesn't change, okay, its content is not changed based on any scenario, okay, that is a static web page, okay. uh, So this web page actually which we created, let me go to website desktop version. So if I create this, okay, with HTML and CSS, okay, so on click of sign up button or click on check plans, we didn't put anything, okay, how the operation should work, because with HTML and CSS it is not possible to define some operation, what should be the action behind the button click, or if I click on the logo option, it should reload the home page. All these things can't be done using HTML and CSS. As I already discussed, HTML is for the structuring purpose and CSS is for the styling purpose, so our web page can look beautiful. Okay, so whatever implementation we did in a few weeks back, okay, with this web page, with this design, and created this web page with HTML and CSS. So this is static web page where it is not changing, okay. If I click on check plans or if I click on logo button, okay, this logo, and in any circumstances its content is not changing, so this is static web page, okay. But if we had JavaScript, okay, so JavaScript is this scripting language which we use to make our website interactive. So if we click on some button, if we are fetching some data over database or some other third party internet source, okay, if I'm getting some data from some third party internet source, okay, and any other things, like if you do some operation, it should get pop up or alert window. So all these things are kind of interactive, making your websites interactive. So to make your website interactive, we need to add JavaScript, okay. So depending on different scenario or different conditions, okay, we make our website interactive, okay, using JavaScript. So this is the big difference or impactful difference, that there are static websites and there are dynamic websites. So always most of the websites are dynamic websites where they are interactive. Very less websites are static websites, which we can say like blog, okay, any content blog or any blogs related to information or any kind of blogs where they just need to put some content. They are just kind of essays, or they are kind of experiences shared by people on different topics. So they don't need anything like interactivity. They are just kind of essays. So those websites can be static websites. But the website which we are looking for, okay, which we created for any Wi-Fi and cable services providers, okay, it must be a interactive one, okay. People will interact with this website, do some transactions, do some plans, okay. So on that basis, we need to have some interactiveness, okay, on this website. So this page must be dynamic web page, and we must include JavaScript into this, okay. So we understood the purpose behind including JavaScript, okay, and what is static and dynamic web page. Now we will consider, okay, so how the what is client side code and server side code. So I think uh, we will discuss, okay. So client side and server side, I already told you, okay, that we fetch or we download all the files related to web page from server, okay. We download the HTML file, we download CSS file, and we download the JavaScript file. Whatever the downloaded files we get, we parse them, that is read them, and according to that files we create the web page on our browser. We all know that design which I have created in very initial phase of the our tutorials, like HTML and CSS and server. So we have client and server. Our client means browser, which whenever I click on this excalibur.com link, okay, as soon as I put that URL and enter, my browser requests for that particular files, okay, through those all those process which we discussed through, like DNS. It will go to DNS, will check where these files are located. It will contact to that server and download those files, and then after reading those files, this web page will be created, okay. So we know what is client and server. So client is our own machine, that is user's machine, okay, and server is the remote machine where the all the responsible code is present. So whatever code is executed on the user's machine, in our case in web development terms, in the browser, whatever code is run is called as client side code. So our JavaScript is run, okay, on the client side part, okay. It is a client side code. In the browser we implement the JavaScript, whatever on, but as soon as you can see, if I am changing this thing, see the content is changing on button click. So this code is running on the browser, my browser, that is Edge browser. So this is client side code. But something like, if I click on this GitHub option, okay, and then it will go to GitHub site, and then I will put my credential and then log in. So there will be some logic, there will be some code present on the server that will be authenticate me, okay. As soon as I put my username and password, and then it will check the server, there will be code on the server side on this remote machine. It will take my credential like username and password, and will check if this is the correct username and password, and then authenticate myself, or else it will send this user doesn't exist, or this is a incorrect password. So something that is validating on the server side, that code will called as a server side code, okay. So mostly on client side, okay, in I'm talking about web development terms, okay. So in web pages, JavaScript is mostly executed on the client side part, that is browser side, okay. On server side, there are many technologies which can be executed on server side, that is there will be Java, .NET, Python, and JavaScript also. So JavaScript can be executed on both side, client side and server side, okay. uh, Actually, JavaScript is basically created for client side only. Actually, it was meant to be executed in the browser itself, okay. But after the introduction of Node.js, it is possible to execute it on the server side also. So that is again a different topic and different topic of discussion, actually, that we will discuss in later parts, okay. But just make note of that JavaScript first was created to be executed on the client side, that is specifically in the browser. Okay, before that, outside the browser, we couldn't execute the JavaScript. It must be executed in the browser itself. After the introduction of Node.js, we are now able to execute the JavaScript outside the browser. Okay, and now able to execute on the server machines. Okay, so this is another part, that what is client side code and server side code. Now we will discuss about what is compiled languages and interpreted languages. Okay, so I will put here. Yes, yes, we can do validation on browser side also and on the server side also. So if you want, so if consider we have one, see, we have this subscriber ID and amount part. Okay, we can do validation on browser side also. If I put negative value, it should not go to server side. We should handle this on the browser itself. Here on the client side itself, we can handle it through JavaScript. Okay, and if I put recharge option, then another validations can be done on the server side also, that if I have put proper correct subscriber ID or not, all those things, because this, it can't be validated here in client side, because the proper subscriber IDs, all the user details will be available on the database. So we don't directly connect database through the client side. We first connect database on the server side, and then all the validations are completed on the server side, and then here it will be recharge will be completed, and we will show the success screen on the client side then. Okay, whatever validation can be possible on the client side, like this one which I mention here. If I put amount as negative, it should be deal here only. Okay, in the client, that is browser side. But something like if the subscriber ID is the valid one, we can't check here on the browser itself. We need to do server call. We need to give this data to server side. Server will do the validation using the database. Okay, and then it will show us, okay, this is not a valid subscriber ID, or if it is valid, then it will completely recharge. Any other question? Okay, fine. So I will move to next topic. So we were talking about compiled languages and interpreted languages. Okay. Okay. So compiled languages are like C, C++. All these are compiled languages. Okay. So what happens whenever you write your code? Okay. At the same time, whenever we want to run that program on your machine, they must be compiled. Okay. What is compiled? That is, they need to be transformed into the machine code. The machine code which is understandable to the machine. Okay. So if I put some line of code, okay, in C and C++, that will be transform or compile into machine code. That machine code will be executed on your machine. Okay, while JavaScript is actually the interpreted languages. Okay, the browser receive the JavaScript code in the original form. Okay, and it just interpret or in the original form, itself, it interprets and execute it. Okay, it doesn't needs to be compiled, or it doesn't needs to be transformed into machine code. Okay, so browser directly execute your JavaScript in its original form, while other languages like C, C++, and other object oriented languages, they needs to be compiled or transformed into the machine code to be executed on your machine. Okay, so C. So these C, C++ can't be executed on your browser, while this JavaScript will be executed on your browser. And browsers are created for that purpose only, means JavaScript is the language of that browser. Through this, it is executed. Okay, all those web pages are making interactive. Okay, but nowadays, okay, nowadays, like in modern age actually, the JavaScript uses some technique. Okay, there are in browser. Okay, these browsers, modern browsers like Chrome and Edge. I'm talking about Chrome and Edge. They have just-in-time compiler. Just-in-time compiler. So what this just-in-time compiler does to just improve the performance of our JavaScript, it transform our JavaScript into binary format. Okay, binary means 0 1 0 1 like things. Okay, so this just-in-time compiler at the time of execution in the browser. Okay, whenever our JavaScript is executed in the browser, this just-in-time compiler transform or compile our JavaScript into binary format to improve the performance. Okay, and this compilation, okay, this as I told you, whenever this JavaScript is executed in browser, at that time, at the runtime, it is compiled. So that's why still we call the JavaScript as a interpreted languages. Okay, while your other C++, we need to compile them before we run them. Correct? After compiling, then only we run those program. Okay, all those C++ program we run after once we compile them. Okay, so that's why they are compiled languages, while JavaScript is the interpreted languages where we are using compiler to improve the performance, but it is used at the runtime whenever your code is executing. Okay, so this is another difference. We talk about compiled languages and interpreted languages. Okay, now we will move toward our thing. Okay, I will just show you one a sample demo. Okay, on the JavaScript. So this is normal HTML page which start with document type. What is document type? Then HTML tag, head. In the head, I just put normal things like meta viewport for uh, responsiveness. Added style sheet. There is nothing in the style sheet right now. Okay, and added the JavaScript. Okay. Again, there are other things like internal JavaScript and external JavaScript. We so in what you can say, the term itself is very understandable, that internal JavaScript and external JavaScript. So if I put script tag and inside it, if I put all the JavaScript code, so this is internal JavaScript. Okay, whatever I will put inside the script tag, it will be internal JavaScript. But if I use, I'm creating a designated JavaScript file, and that I'm linking here in the HTML code. Okay, so this is external JavaScript, that I have designated JavaScript file and I'm just linking it here on the HTML page. Okay, so I will do same thing here. Okay, so this is I'm using the external JavaScript. Okay, so we have designated files for each and every language. Okay, means markup language, that is HTML, styling thing CSS, and our scripting language, that is JavaScript. Okay, now what I will do, I will put one p tag. Okay, paragraph tag, welcome team. Okay, I'm just putting one p tag with welcome team. Okay, fine, let me just run this. Okay, so we have JavaScript tutorial page and welcome team. So now what I will do, uh, I will create one button. Okay, on that button click, I will change this thing. Okay, paragraph tag content to welcome SVGI. Okay, so one simple thing we will see. Maybe I can do this as a button only. Let me do it. Okay, fine. Created some button like thing. We'll see. Okay, fine. Now what I will do, I will write one JavaScript code. Okay. So what I will try. Okay. Whenever I will click on this, okay, I will create one prompt. Okay. Prompt means alert window which will ask for some data. I will put that data. Okay. Like any word I will put. On click of that OK means once I put the data, I need to change this content. Okay, welcome team. So how I can do? So using JavaScript, we can have access to the DOM nodes. So what is DOM nodes, that we will discuss later. But just understand that whatever the JavaScript we write, I think we discussed during the CSS sessions, that whatever JavaScript we write, all those are created as a DOM nodes, that is document object model nodes. Okay, so we can access those nodes, okay, using the JavaScript, okay, browser APIs. So they are called as browser APIs, and the DOM APIs are part of the browser APIs. Okay, so what I will do, I will just ignore how I'm creating. Okay, just understand means just understand the example how I'm creating the interactivity. The code part I will explain to you in the next session. Okay, why I'm using late, why, what I'm trying to create here. Okay, that we will discuss later. So this document is the this document. Okay, whatever the document we have executed, whatever document we are sharing here, okay, this is web page. Okay, so this web page itself is the document. Okay, so document. So document, then I'm what I'm doing, using a query selector, a method, okay, API method, using which I can select particular node, okay, particular node. So what I want to do here, I want to select this particular node, okay. So I will use this p tag, okay, I will use p, okay, here. See, if there are many options here. You can see P and other. See, a different tags are present. Okay, and even you can access it through ID or class also. Okay, uh, mostly we use IDs to tag those node. Okay, I think we discussed in the CSS that how we can access those ID. Okay, to access the DOM nodes. Right now, I'm just using simple tag, okay, HTML tag, because we don't have any complex examples. So that's why I'm directly using p tag. Okay, so I access, okay, our p tag. Okay, then what I will do, I will put some code. Okay, so whatever the if I click on that node, it should execute some line of code. Okay, it should execute some line of code on click. So what I'm doing, paragraph, okay, this one, add event listener. Okay, what is even the word itself is very understandable, that some, if some event occur on this node. So right now what event I'm going to do, I'm going to click here. Okay, so click is the event. Like that there are multiple events like hover or blur. Okay, if I'm hovering on this element, if I go outside, this is again a event, a blur event, or focus event, or no focus event. So there are different events. So these are multiple events. Okay, and you can apply some JavaScript code. Okay, means what to do, what operation to do, you can do it through this event. Okay, please mute your mic if you are not talking, or if you don't want to ask any question. Okay, so right now I will apply some code on the click event. Add event listener. it is asking for type, what kind of event it is. HTML element event. Okay, so our event is like, there are, again you can see there are multiple type of things: drag, drop, copy, okay, then blur, focus. So right now I will use click event. Okay, on click event I will be using one function I will call. A function is the reusable code. Okay, whatever the function is, inside the function there will be some line of code in JavaScript. Okay, I will write some line of code in the JavaScript that will be executed whenever the click event occur. Now I will define the function. Okay, function update name. Okay, now I will put let name equal to, I will be using prompt. Okay, it will create one alert box and it will ask for enter new name. Okay, whatever the name we will get, we will store it here. Okay, and then what I will do, paragraph, that is our node. Okay, p tag node. Okay, inside that I will change the text content now. Okay, to welcome name. Okay, whatever I will put inside the prompt, it will be put there. So let's try if it works or not. So this is welcome team. If I click on it, it should open the prompt, but again it is not opening. Let me index.js. I will create another, means I will try to access another node, that is button. Okay, same thing I did. I am using the tag, HTML tag, that is button tag, to access the particular DOM node. Okay, that is document object model node. Okay, and then I will add listener. Okay, on that button. On that button, I am adding the listener, and then it will change the paragraph text. Yes, click here. The prompt is not wrong. Let's just remove this prompt thing. We put hard coded value right now. Yeah, so it works. Now let me check if with prompt also. Okay, the prompt has came. I will put svgi. Okay, and see the content is changing. So this is the interactivity. As soon as I click on one button, some alert window or prompt comes. I will put svgi. Okay, and okay. So as soon as okay, if I click on okay, it changes. Okay, let me change it to, so it will change welcome Raghu. So this is the interactivity which we are we want to put in our websites, okay, in the coming sessions, okay. So this is one sample JavaScript code, okay, which we implemented. What we did, we just access those nodes, okay, HTML nodes, which is a document, okay. Whatever we execute on the browser, okay, whatever web page, it's itself one document, okay. And inside that document we access single node, okay. So right now I am accessing this paragraph node and button node, okay. On that button node I just added one event listener. What is event listener? Event listener means if some event occur, it will execute this reusable code every time, okay. Whenever it will be 10 times, multiple times, every time this click event occur, it will execute this same code again and again. And what it is doing, it will just ask for one prompt, that is it will ask for user data, okay. User will put the data and it will change the text content of the paragraph, okay. Fine. So this is one simple code which we discussed. Now we will meet tomorrow again at the same time and we'll discuss about the more topics on the JavaScript. Okay.